Hey, Alisha and Rome. I'm Ashley with Ashley and Company. Rome, what was it like joining the Raising Dion family and getting to see yourself on screen for the first time with all the powers and
Yeah,
that cool stuff?
I mean, it was a dream come true as an actor, but also just as a fan of sci-fi type of stuff. I hadn't had the opportunity to do something like this before, so to be a part of this show in particular is just, it's been really great, to be able to be such a strong character, but also be a flawed character throughout the season and working opposite Alicia. And Josiah's, there's a lot of great things about the show. I think it's very well written, very well done. They put the money in to make sure that the effects look good, and that's super important because if they look bad, it takes you completely out of the show and everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm overjoyed. I'm humbled to be able to be a part of it.
Thank you.
All right, our next question goes to Carolina Edson with What C Says.
Hi, thank you guys for being here. My question is for Rome. So the show is based on a comic book. Did you read that at all to prepare? Are you big into comic books? So did you get any type of reading in for that?
No, I didn't read the comic book. I I didn't want it to approach it that way. But I did speak to Dennis, who created it, and we did go over a lot of what Heaven is, and I just wanted to approach it from a perspective of not knowing those things and what was written before, to try to bring whatever I could, maybe subconsciously, to the character that maybe otherwise I would have thought about not doing had I read the comic book. But yeah, I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't want to read it. I wanted to try to live in it a little more.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Shell Fies with Not Quite Susie Homemaker.
Hi, my question is for Alisha. So Nicole gets into boxing between seasons 1 and 2. Did you need to do any training on that, or are you already a boxer?
So it's actually kind of funny through our personal conversations with the showrunner, Carol Barbie. She knew that I liked boxing, that I had boxed and done some fight stuff on my previous show. So I'm not a trained dancer. I personally don't think I'm very good. And so I didn't have an affinity towards it. And she really was so great in just kind of shaping the character more to fit my physical dynamic. And so she was able to seamlessly weave that into the character and make it real, make it like the logic makes sense why she would learn to box. But yeah, I had the stunt coordinator and I worked out a little bit leading up to some of the stuff that we did, but I was pretty familiar up until that point. I pre-pandemic, I was going to the boxing gym, at least once a week or something like that. So it's a good workout.
Next question goes to Christina Patricio with the Patricios.
Hi, I'm Christina and I'm with thepatricios.com. And my question is for Alisha. What was the most technically challenging scene to shoot this season?
I would say this season I'm alone quite a bit. And I think sometimes shooting those scenes can actually be kind of hard. I know that doesn't it's not technically very challenging. But it is kind of hard because I think, during the pandemic, we were kind of alone a lot in general anyway. And then by the time we go to shoot, then I was also shooting alone. And it kind of felt I wasn't seeing any whole faces sometimes, because everyone that's around me has a shield and a mask and all that stuff on. So it helps. I just put all of that into my character. But I would say, yeah, sometimes it did feel kind of hard being by myself, as much as I was.
Next question goes to John Sicer with Whiskey and Sunshine. Hi, John, can you hear us? Yana? All right, I will chat her and let her know that her audio is disconnected. Let's go to Kathy Kopcut with Live with Kathy.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So I asked Jason the question. I want to ask you guys the same question. We love the show in our home. I'm a single mom. My kiddo's 8. We love the show. I need to emphasize love. So I wanted to know, since our society is so invested in superheroes right now. What makes your show so different than all the other superhero shows?
Well, I think what we're seeing now with the superhero genre is the expansion beyond just action. You are getting into crazy comedies, gritty comedies, you're getting into family dramas, you're getting into like existential, weird, sort of like out of the box, avant-garde kind of things. And I think, you know, there was a space that was vacant for like family friendly, POC driven content. I don't think there was really much available. There was, but it's like for an older teen, like maybe a teenager, not something for a little kid. And so, you know, if you have a child that's from about like 5 to maybe about 13, like this is really that target. And I think in creating a story that's something that is, you know, your parents and your children can watch together, there isn't really anything like that on the Netflix platform that I've seen in movies. And so really when people are coming up to me, and just like you said, it's a favorite show, it's a favorite because it's something that's like a shared memory with your spouse, your kids, and everyone can kind of get together and watch it and kind of get that like itch scratched of it being a superhero show, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the same thing she said. I mean, I feel like the show is unique because we have a little black boy headline in the show. Like it just doesn't happen. And Netflix has always been good about being progressive and cutting edge and giving the spaces to voices that I feel like don't really have the opportunity to. But you know, but aside from that, the show is just good, and you can watch it with a really any age range. And like she said, I don't know if there's many shows out there that I can say I sat down and watched with my entire family. Like, you know, I don't think that at any part in the show you're gonna want to cover your eyes and your mom cover their eyes, you know. And but at the same time, it isn't cheesy. It isn't like unbearable to sit through. Like you want to know what happens next. And so all those elements together, I think, have created a really, really unique and special show. And I'm excited for everybody to see the second season.
Oh my gosh, that just reminded me, last holidays, I sat down with my family and we watched Bridgerton. And the first couple of episodes, you're like, oh, this is great. This is, you know, and then by the end of it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that is not wholesome,
Bridgerton,
but
that's
wholesome.
Yes.
This is a sweet spot for everybody.
Yes, yes.
Bridgerton, no. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Jonna, can you hear us? Let's try this again.
I
All
can.
right,
I lost like the
fantastic.
last 20 seconds of what Alisha had said, and then I heard Kathy pick up. So yeah, I'm good now. I don't know why, whatever, internet.
No, that's great. We're glad to have you back. You can ask the next question.
Okay. And so, yeah, so I'm Jana from Whiskey and Sunshine. And so Alisha, you have seen the kids grow up so much from season 1 to season 2. What has been your favorite part about working with them? And then related to that, also, like, you have this innate ability working with them, but you're not a parent, correct?
No.
So it's like I'm like, how does she do that? Because I want some of those skills and I'd like to take some lessons. But yeah, what's it like working with these kids from, you know, season to season and watching them grow?
I mean, honestly, it's almost like the question is the answer. It's like watching them grow is kind of an incredible thing to watch Josiah and Sammi, who had never stepped in front of a camera before, you know, and to watch these little ones kind of just like bloom and to watch themselves on TV and to have this camaraderie, like they're best friends on their own, like outside of work, like they FaceTime each other all the time. Like it's super cute. And to kind of witness that, you know, because I mean, to be completely honest, I was sometimes a little afraid. I'm like, are we like messing this kid up? You know, as because Hollywood can be kind of a hard place. But I think shooting the show in Atlanta, and I think, you know, almost everyone, I mean, minus me, has partners, have children and have these like family dynamics. So it's such a warm, like healthy place to have kids working out of. So I think we bring a lot of the element. I mean, season 1, we had like 4 baby births, through different, like castmates and their wives. And this season, our directing EP, they had a new baby. So it's just like, it's just a very family friendly show on screen and off screen too. Yeah.
Shows. Thank you.
All right, our next question goes to Joel Kratchik with Daddy's Grounded.
Hi, Joel from Daddy's Grounded. Just want to say I love the show. So do my kids. They're 5 and 8, and we enjoy watching the show together as a family. I was curious, just for both of you, what your personal feelings are on your characters' journeys. I know, Rome, you've got this season, and Alisha, you've got both seasons so far. Just kind of curious what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, it's just now kind of materializing for me. I feel like the journey it had to kind of sped up. I don't think we had a lot of time to dive into like a Tevin's backstory, but I think that they did a good job in letting the viewers kind of know the core essence of where he was and how he ended up where he is now and what he's looking to get out of life, and trying to find that in Nicole and also Dion. So I'm happy with the trajectory of what's happening. I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in season 3, if there is one, just to see the dynamic and seeing what happens after everything happens in the show. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential there, for people to understand more about Tevin and other cool stuff.
So vague.
Very, very vague.
Yeah. I mean, I would say season 1, Nicole was just about damage control. I want to stuff this in a box. I want to lock you in a cabin. I don't want to actually deal with this. And season 2 is about, okay, maybe he has a good head on his shoulders because I've raised him to have a good head on his shoulders. And maybe I can ease up just a little bit. And then by the end of it, you really feel like she fully trusts her kid because he's proven himself to be everything that she kind of hoped from him.
Thank you.
All right, and back up to Ashley.
So Alisha, you were mentioning kind of your stunt training, but Tevin has some serious moves because he's powered in this. So what was it like? Were you able to perform most of your own stunts? Were there any that were especially difficult to land that you were like, oh, I'll let the professionals handle that?
Did everything myself. No help from anybody. I'm kidding. No, for real. The guy who was doing all the cool stuff, he deserves all of the credit. All I simply had to do was make sure I turned the right way like he did. And even that was hard. So, he was amazing. I wish they could have used him more. I want to do stuff like that, but maybe I'm going to do some training, over the next couple of months. And when I come back, then I'm going full Tom Cruise. I'm doing everything myself.
There you go. Season 3, you can do all the stunts.
Carolina, back to you.
Hi, my question is for Alisha. So going from season 1 to season 2, Dion is a lot more independent and just more like, no, I want to do it. And, so how did you go from kind of going from that, or prepare as, his mom on the screen, of course, to kind of deal with that transition and him growing up and wanting to embrace his powers more?
I think, when Nicole feels really good, then she ultimately feels like she's in control. So even though she's letting Dion think he's in control, I think what you will find this season is that Nicole gets sick and she has to start thinking about, how do I let him live and do his own thing and also feel good about it, because sometimes I can't always be there. And I think if you can't, as a parent, I'm sure, you want to hope that your kid is being everything you want them to be when you're not around. And I think, I don't have children, but I'm just going to go ahead and leap that that's ultimately the point of raising them, right? It's so that when they go off to do their own thing, they're being the best version of themselves that that they can be. And I think a lot of it's about letting go, and a lot of it is about actually trusting your kid. And I think that's even more reinforced with season 2, because she does have some setbacks and she can't be around him as much as she wants to be. And so she does have to rely on other people like Tevin, like her sister, and trust them. And I think it's that whole village mentality that helps kind of bring it all together for her.
Thank you.
And
I also love your glasses, by the way. They're really cool.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You're so sweet.
Back to Shell for the next question.
My question is for both of you. If you could pick one superpower, what would it be?
Rome, you go.
Superpower. I want to fly, I think I can deal with not having super strength. I think I'm smart enough. I'm okay with that. I don't need super intelligence. I don't want to know everything. I don't want to know what you're thinking.
Ignorance is bliss,
dreadful.
Like...
That sounds dreadful to know exactly what everybody's thinking, reading their mind. I want to be able to fly. Okay. I want to be like a bird. I want to be in the sky. That's what I want to do.
I think about this a lot around press time. And I think I saw something last year that made me laugh. It was like, you could curse someone in some small way. So like, for example, like if you're mad at someone, like they get a ticket that day, or like, they like have really bad indigestion, or like, like they can't find their contact lens. Yeah. Like it's like the most minor of inconveniences. So mine, I'm going bad.
Villain origin story.
A little villain.
I love the petty. Thank you.
Yeah, she's petty. It's okay.
Christina, back to you.
If there is a season 3, do you have a personal wish list of things you'd like to see happen with your character?
Absolutely. I think at the end of the season, Nicole has like almost all the trust in letting him do not whatever he wants, but you understand what I'm saying. So it's like, I think now that we've like wrapped that up and really made that a clear path for Nicole, like there's so many other things about life with a superpowered kid that I can't wait to explore, because it's like once you have this core foundation between the two of them, they have some struggles between the both of them, and then they really come together. So it's like, okay, now what does a unified front look like when he's out there trying to save the world? And I think that that's really cool, and I would love to see that be explored.
Yeah, I mean, I have a wish list too. Yeah, I think the wish list is just being a part of the next season, probably, mainly. And beyond that, just expanding on a relationship between Nicole and Tevin, and because they really just scratched the surface, and I don't know, at the end we really see the walls come down, I guess, metaphorically and physically. And now maybe we get to see what this looks like, and also, I don't know, I don't want to give the end, but like with everything that happens, like you just become closer with someone when you go through crazy stuff, and they went through some crazy stuff, and with Dion. And so I think it would just be interesting to see how that plays out, and a lot of different angles I think could take with it. I want more training scenes too, by the way, more training scenes. Those are cool.
That was a good question. I like being hopeful like that.
Manifesting already, huh? I see.
Yeah.
Okay.